everybody, welcome to Cyberblock Entertainment, and today I'm going to be ranking all levels in one of my favourite games, Spyro the Dragon, from worst to best. I played through the reignited trilogy for footage, and before I begin, the way the levels are ranked is based on how fun they are, their look and design, and the secrets in the level and how enjoyable they are to 100%. If you enjoy the video, remember to hit the like button and subscribe for more ranking game levels, gameplay highlights, VR vids. I've got a lot more content coming soon. But with that said, here's my ranking of every Spyro 1 level. Starting off at the worst level in Spyro 1 is Terrace Village. This is the most frustrating and annoying level in the game, as the main gameplay mechanic here is the electric floors, with the Electro Gnorcs slamming their shock sticks in the ground, causing deadly electricity if Spyros to land or touch the ground. The problem with this is the electricity lasts way too long and slows down the pace of the game, making you have to wait for a decent amount of time. Later on in the level, this becomes even more of a chore when the gunner enemies appear beside the Electro Gnorcs, meaning you have to charge into them while also flaming them. It gives you a small window of time to actually beat both enemies, meaning most of the time the ground will be electrified and you'll have to wait. In terms of level design, it's also very simple. It's basically just heading down a straight path and waiting for the floor to be safe again when it's electrified. The look and design of the level is alright, honestly. The reignited trilogy looks very beautiful overall, but this level has a very plain look, mixing in the temple look with some plain stone buildings and way too much green. There's like a green filter everywhere. It's just not the prettiest looking level at all. Getting all the gems in this level also isn't great, as it mostly involves making awkward jumps and gliding on top of buildings and lighting up fireworks, compared to other levels where there'd be secret areas. This doesn't have any. So it's definitely the worst level in the game. At number 28 is Dr. Shemp, and this level is very basic and very forgettable. Dr. Shemp as a boss is very easy, requiring you to flame his exposed area 3 times to beat him, and apart from that, there isn't much else to do in this level. The look of the level ain't anything special either, with the only standout part being the massive eclipse in the sky. The rest is just sandy buildings and structures. Getting all gems in this level is also very easy, as there's no secret areas and most gems are visible and have a clear path of how you get to them. At number 27 is Metalhead, another boss level, as the boss levels in this game are the weakest type of level. Metalhead has Spyro making his way to the boss by flaming and charging into armed banana boys, who attack you kind of like Rammus does from League of Legends. But the main part of this level is Metalhead himself, who looks really cool, but it's the most boring way to beat him, having you ram into his electric rods when they are green, repeat this in 2 areas and you're done. This level captures the look and feel of a fortress well, and I like the poison rivers. However, getting all the gems in this level is one of the worst experiences. There's an interesting secret area, though it might be too hidden, having the player fly into the poison moat and through a broken gate to gain access to hidden gems. The worst part, however, is near the end of the level, and if you've tried completing this level, you probably know exactly what ledge with gems I'm talking about. It looks like an easy ledge that you can just fly to, but for some ungodly reason this ledge is broken, and Spyro always just misses it, unless you're standing at a particular point or you just get extremely lucky when you glide. At number 26 is Jacques, and this level is one of the most hated mechanics, the time jest. These creepy guys run around until you hit them, which causes them to fall over and raise platforms, and I hate having to wait for stuff in games, so this was really annoying as this level was just filled with a lot of that. The main part of the level is the boss though, and it's again really simple. Hit him once, follow him, and it's over. The level looks alright, though compared to other levels in Dreamweavers, it's very plain. Getting all the gems in this level is a mixed bag. One area has a fun gliding while shooting at enemies in a circle. However, the rest of it is another one of those ledges where Spyro seems like he's about to make it, but only half the time actually makes it. So a lot of lives can be lost in this level. At number 25 is Toasty, and this has one of my most hated enemies in this game, the dogs. So basically the main thing you'll be up against is the shepherds and the dogs. The dogs take 2 hits to beat, and will most of the time jump and squish you, and it's a very small window of time again to escape them, and most likely you'll be hit a lot by them. They're very annoying, and it's just a lot of these until you get to the boss, which is just Toasty himself is a massive scarecrow, and he's filled with the dogs. He's just got all the dogs everywhere, it's just more of the dogs. You literally go to 3 areas, burn him, beat the dogs, and you've beaten the boss. The look of the level is alright again, it's nothing too special, it's just an orange sky really, with on top of a rooftop of a castle. And getting all the gems in the level is really easy, there isn't many you'll miss, there's no secret areas that are interesting. So it's just another forgettable level, like unfortunately most of the boss levels are. At number 24 is Sunny Flight, and this, I put all the flying levels together actually, so the next ones are going to be flying levels, because there isn't too much differences in them. I guess it's just personal preference. which one you enjoy doing more though. They're not too different, just some are harder than each other. This is one of the first ones, and the flying levels are actually more just like puzzle levels. Once you find out the route, they're very easy. You just have to know which ones to go for first. So they're fun. Yeah, it's hard to rank them because they're not as good as the normal levels, and they're not that drastically different. But I'm just going to put them all here. So at number 24 is Sunny Flight, number 23 is Night Flight, number 22 is Ice Flight, and 21 is Wild Flight. And number 20 is Crystal Flight. I've gone through a lot of numbers, but I just put all the flying ones together because they're just not that different. Crystal Flight just looks better and it was a bit more fun for me. And it's just the same for the others. Just I preferred the look of the other ones compared to this one. This was just very normal looking, so yeah. And number 19 is Gnasty Gnorc, and this is obviously the final boss in the game where you're against Gnasty Gnorc. And it's a chase level. You've got to chase Gnasty Gnorc on a certain route, hit him, and then you get to the next route, which is a bit more difficult. So it starts just a normal pathway, and then eventually you'll get into having to platform over lava. You just have to follow him, catch up to him, and flame him once and you beat him. The look of this level is again alright. It's very undergroundy. You don't really get to see much of the level because you're just half the time running through it as fast as possible. And to get all the gems isn't hard at all. You just gotta slow down really and look in all the pathways. And number 18 is Cliff Town, and this level has a pretty cool enemy, the Pueblos, who use their metal capes, and they'll stab you if you get close. You gotta charge into them. But apart from that, it's very simple. Just get through the small town and climb up to the top. There's also the fat lady enemies with cauldrons, and a lot of gems are actually hidden in those cauldrons, so you gotta hit those cauldrons to get the gems out. But apart from that, they're only the real enemies in that level. This level does have a nice unique look where it's a sandy town. It does fit the word Cliff Town, which I liked. Getting all the gems in the level is also more fun than the others because there's not too many secret areas, but there's definitely more than the previous levels I've discussed. Overall though, it is another forgettable level because there just isn't that much interesting stuff in it. And at number 17 is Blowhard, and this is what I liked about this level was the wizards who are raising up the platform. There's a bit more before the actual boss, so there was more of a level sense than just this is a boss level. There's a bit more like playing an actual level. However, the boss himself is ridiculously easy again. You chase him, you hit him, it's done. He's a very easy boss, and once you beat him, you've beaten the level. This level, however, is one of my favourite looks, where you're on top of a mountain and there's windmills everywhere. I just really love that aesthetic, so it has great look and design. Again, there's hardly any secret areas here, so completing it is very easy, and there's just no challenge at all. And number 16 is where the levels start getting good with Stonehill. It's just an iconic and nostalgic level for any Spyro fan. However, there isn't too much to do in the level, unfortunately. It is just one of the earlier ones where you have to charge around and flame the shepherds. Yet, it has one of the funnest secrets, in my opinion. You have to glide to the outside of the level and chase down the egg. And you can run around all around the level on the outside on the grassy plains, and it's just a lot of fun. In terms of look and design, it just screams Spyro to me when I look at this level. If I was telling someone what Spyro looked like, I would describe this level as Spyro. Artisans is just iconic. Getting all the gems in the level is also a lot of fun, as you have to go around all the towers, and there's also a really cool secret down at the beach, where you find the key and you've got to go and open the chest. And number 15 is Gnasty's Loot. And the point of this level is to get all the gems in the level possible. This is also a bonus level that is unlocked after getting all the gems in the other level. One of the best mechanics of this level is that you can actually fly forever in a non-flying level for the first time. You also have to hunt down all the key thieves and egg thieves who are sometimes in planes that you have to chase to unlock keys to raise your altitude level, try and get to the top where Gnasty's lair is. This level was a lot of fun, though it is just collecting gems, which you've already done to get to the level. It is a nice bonus area, akin to something like when you get all the stuff in the Lego game. Obviously getting all the gems is fun because that is the point of the level. So it is a level about getting all gems. At number 14 is Gnorc Cove, and this is a really unique gameplay mechanic of hitting the barrels with the charge into other people holding barrels or Gnorcs with TNT. You'll also be dodging TNT that's rolling down and gliding from platform to platform. This level looks great and really gets the industrial theme down with all the pipes and furnaces in the background built on a cove. Getting all the gems in the level is also really well done, as there's a lot of little secrets and tricks that you have to do, like hitting this barrel into a chest, and at the end of the level going down a certain pathway and finding the key to unlock the chest. At number 13 is Twilight Harbour, and this level is just so fun to play in. It's a very easy level to traverse around and has new enemies which are Gnorcs with purple paint guns, which you have to jump over their spread of fire. But again, it's a very quick level that you can easily run through and get all the gems and stuff. The level also looks great, again incorporating the industrial design with the cove, but this is more of a harbour based one, so there's a lot more big buildings and lava sections and purple gunk in containers and stuff. It's just a mixture of colours and it all looks really nice. Getting all the gems in the level is also really fun, as it includes one of my favourite puzzles, which is lifting up the drawbridge and charging down and just running through the level with the supercharge. The supercharge was my favourite mechanic in Spyro. At number 12 is Dark Hollow, and this is basically just a fighting area where you just gotta fight tons of enemies and make it to the end, but honestly, the look of this level and the atmosphere alone just gets it this high up because it just looks amazing. It's a dark maze. Well, it's a dark hollow. It's in the name, I guess, but the way it's lit is just so pretty, and the moonlight and all the flora around is beautiful. It's very much fitting the fantasy theme well, especially one of the hidden areas where you go into this area and it's just surrounded by this blue glowing water and tons of books around it. It just feels like a wizard's library, and it's a beautiful level. Obviously that makes getting gems fun because of all these secret beautiful hidden areas, but gameplay wise it is just running around and hitting the Gnorcs. And at number 11 is Town Square, and this is again another beat the enemies, get to the end level. A lot of the levels are that. Spyro is not the most complicated thing, but some of the levels did have more unique gameplay, but this one was just hit the bro and hit the matadors. But it's just the design of this level that puts it this high, because it's just so nicely designed as a circular area that you can easily get back to and get to each location very quickly. So finding the gems is very easy to do, and it includes one of the first times you actually have to think how to get to a platform. Instead of just seeing a platform and jumping to it, you've actually got to jump around a corner which you can't see and glide over, which is just fun. A lot of these old games had stuff like that where it isn't clear what to do, but once you think about it and you solve it, it's very satisfying. We're now at the top 10, and at number 10 is Dark Passage. This has a really unique gameplay feature where there's these big monstrous dogs, but they're actually just nightmares from the Jester's lantern. So you hit the lanterns and then they turn into smaller dogs and you can kill them. And it's just a beautiful looking cavern or cave. It's a big circular thing where you've got to go through the passageways and climb to the top, but it's just a lot of fun. Really cool enemy design, and the level looks amazing. This purple tint everywhere with particles and rose blossoms and just lighted walkways. It's beautiful looking. One of the most atmospheric levels in the game. But the funnest part of this level is definitely trying to get all the gems. There's so many little hidden passageways, parts you have to glide down which lead into big areas which you have to glide to. There's just so much fun in exploring this level. And at number 9 is Lofty Castle. And in this level you want to free the fairies from the cages while flaming the balloons to make Gnorcs fall from the sky. And the fairies will activate a whirlwind that you can fly up and glide over to the next place. This level looks stunning. I love the whole floating island theme it's got going on. And it has some of my favourite puzzles to find all the gems, which is the charge puzzle where you run down, you build up speed, and you just launch yourself over the map. It's so much fun. And at number 8 is Misty Bog, and this is a really interesting level where you actually have to go down instead of up. So you go through the level and then you get to this tree trunk and you drop down into it and you're in this big waterfall area, and it's just these strange enemies like acorns or something. I think they're actually meant to be mandrakes or bulbs or something, but they come and attack you. There's boars everywhere, they're chasing all the Gnorcs around. I love the look of this level with all the water and the bog theme. It's just really pretty to look at. Getting all the gems is also a lot of fun. There's a lot of areas you have to fly to and areas you think you couldn't get to. You actually have to climb up stones for the first time, which is really interesting, and then do a big jump across and charge into multiple enemies. It's just a lot of fun to collect all the gems. And at number 7 is Alpine Ridge, and this is a very interesting level where wizards are actually moving platforms around that are hitting you off. There's big monster type enemies and there's electric wizards. Basically a ton of different magic users and wizards, but the ones who move all the platforms are definitely the best in this level because it can really just mess up your platforming or even help it sometimes. It's really fun. There's also a big open area with tons to explore and tons of gems to collect and a lot of hidden fun areas to go through. And at number 6 is Haunted Towers, and this is the first level which introduces a gameplay mechanic which is supercharged Spyro. So he glows a brilliant neon and has really powerful flame that can knock down walls and beat the new enemies in this level, which is ghostly armor, which can't be beaten by anything else but this super flame. The level again has another floating island type theme going on, but this is more floating like fortress, and it's beautiful and the ghostly armor is really nice. Magic Crafters definitely had some of the best looking levels in the game. And again, getting all the gems is a blast in this level. You have to use the charge again, which is just so much fun to use every time. It's always jumping around a corner at places you could never go, so there's a lot of experimentation, but once you figure it out, it's always satisfying. And at number 5 is Ice Cavern, and this level looks amazing. I love how the ice looks. It's very claustrophobic looking, but also like slightly magical with the way the ice looks. This is also a level which introduces knocking the armored enemies in off the cliffs to beat them. So you can't just knock them to kill them, they have to be knocked off a cliff, which was interesting. There's also, again, tons of secret areas, places you have to fly to, and a key to unlock chests, so getting all the gems, again, fun. And at number 4 is Dry Canyon, and this is a very open level. It's massive in scale, there's a lot to explore, a lot of gems to find. It looks great again, it's the sandy Beastmakers area, so it's very sand and desert-like with the buildings, but there's a lot around this place to explore and a lot of stuff to see. The secrets are also really fun to do, involving gliding around a corner. It really makes you think how to get to this area instead of just being told, which is really nice, and a lot of old games had this, which I really enjoy. And number 3 is High Caves, and this is a already interesting level off the bat with the spider enemies who you can't kill but will kill you, so you've got to run past them. You eventually get to this area where it's just a big charge down, and you really have, this is basically the main part of the level, is that charge down mechanic, and they use it really well here. There's a lot of stuff you can do with it. You can charge off and jump over a ledge into a cavern area, run all the way up that, jump to get to more gems, or you can just go down and hit all the spiders. It's just everything is solved with that charge, but it's really interesting the different ways you can use it. You also can get supercharged Spyro here as well to be able to flame the spiders, so there's a lot of mechanics in this one level, and it's quite small but very expansive. And at number 2 is Wizard Peak, and I just love this level. It's so fun to traverse around. You're really high up in the mountains, and you really get the sense of that when you're jumping over the cliffs and gliding over the cliffs. You can go on the outside of the level and explore it to get to more places. You can go inside and beat all the enemies, where it's the wizards and the armored Gnorcs. There's so many secrets to find on the outside as well, and which path you go and which way you glide down. Level looks amazing. I love the look of this level. Again, it matches Magic Crafters perfectly with the whole magic and fantasy setting, which I love. This level actually has 3 charge routes, which is a lot of fun. You can pick up a lot of speed and jump to areas you never thought you could be able to get to. There's a lot of puzzle solving here, and it's a lot of fun. So at number 1 is a choice that I think many people are going to disagree with me on, and I can understand why, but I personally think this level is incredible, and that is Treetops. Now this level is brutally difficult. You will lose a lot of lives on this level because it isn't clear what you're meant to do at all, and there's a lot of like paths that you think would not work, but I just love this level because I think it's so well thought out. So first off, look at the level, amazing. You're up high in these, well, treetops. Again, floating island, but it's like floating trees. You're going in through the trees and you're going down all the wooded paths and you're floating to islands and beating banana throwing enemies. And there's charge paths everywhere. And a lot of people have probably died a lot on this level. I even die when I know what to do because it is still difficult to get the timing down, but the whole point of it is you want to charge down this path, jump over to the next path. It's like being on a Hot Wheels track, and it's just so much fun, and I absolutely love when you get it right. Because when you get it right, it's the most satisfying thing to do. When you finally worked out this long pathways and where to jump and you execute it, it is so satisfying. And I really liked that it wasn't easy because it was so different. A lot of this game was a very easy game, and this level is a massive difficulty spike when it comes because you're not expecting it. And you really have to think where you're going to jump and when you're going to move and high speed. It's a very well thought out level and one of my favorite level designs in gaming in general. So the funnest part of this level is obviously trying to get all the gems because you do have to do some crazy things that the game has not taught you how to do. You really have to think how to do this all for yourself. There hasn't been any other level like this, and there isn't any other level that comes later on like this. But I'm sure this is also going to be a lot of people's least favorite level because of how hard it is, but I personally love this level. So that was my ranking of every Spyro the Dragon level. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe. I've got more ranking videos coming out soon. I'm mainly doing the Lego games right now, trying to get through all of them, but I'm also doing, obviously, Spyro. I'll probably move on to Crash and games like that. Right now I'm playing through Lego Pirates of the Caribbean, halfway through that, but it's been really busy due to actually moving house and uni applications, all that stuff, but I'm going to try and complete that game soon so I can rank it, but there's a lot of other games I want to rank, and there's a lot more videos coming soon. So if you enjoyed, stay tuned, and until next time, this has been Cyblock Entertainment.